Hello, my name is Jay, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about where you should invest in your PC to keep the most value over time. Now, a lot of parts will lose value, depreciate, all those different things over time as you go through and just use it, or as they get used, things like that. But today I want to take today's video and just talk about those few parts that really, they don't depreciate. They are a good investment if you're willing to invest in them, and they will keep their value pretty much pretty well. So if you ever want to resell it or reuse it, these are the things that will keep the most value. So obviously a good case is a good way to start off. A good case is something that really hasn't changed much. If you've got a tempered glass side panel, a nice looking front, some RGB fans, you are pretty much looking at something that will keep its value over time. The case really won't lose any value. Sometimes it'll even go up in price. And so the case is one of those few things with a nice, if you choose out a nice case, it can last you a long time, or if you want to sell it, someone might see that you have a nice case and it may have a good contributing value or bit of value to your computer. Let's also talk about power supply. Now, power supplies have gotten substantially less expensive over time, but they haven't gotten that less expensive. I think I paid like 80 bucks for this one. This is a 650 semi-modular. And the one, same thing now is around 60 bucks, so from like 80 to 60, so it's lost about 20 bucks in the course of a year and a half. But keep in mind, if you got something like an 820 or something, yes, you may not ever use it, but you keep in mind also that you have a good power supply that will also keep its value relatively compared to the rest of these parts, which my Ryzen 1800X has lost like $200 in value, and the 1080 Ti now with the announcement of the next gen has lost around $200 in value, and that's if you're not accounting for the cryptocurrency craze, height, and then fall. Those are about the two things I would say is those are the two most depreciating things. The motherboard is actually staying pretty well since it is a Ryzen motherboard, and since that socket is going to be supported till 2020. RAM, on the other hand, I would say that's one of those tough topics. RAM pretty much is like one of those in-between topics because we have the announcement of DDR5, but we're not sure exactly how that's going to work out. So, like for example, I have 32 gigs in the system back here, and I wanted to make sure that I have enough for my video editing, all my 4K video, all the video editing that I love doing. But I really wanted to make sure that that would keep its value over time, and so the RAM itself, since we have the announcement of stuff coming out, I don't know if it's worth, I honestly don't know, and I'm not going to recommend it because I don't know. I don't know, it's a decision up to you, is to decide whether or not you want to go buy some RAM, which does keep its value very nicely. The RAM that I have here actually appreciated, so it's actually worth more than it was before. And the other thing is, the RAM, when we have this new DDR5, the price of it will surely go down. But I don't see RAM in the near future. I think we might get the announcement of it at the beginning of 2019. And then we might start seeing it supported in systems in 2020. Announcement of the next Zen architecture, things like that. So I think that may be what we can expect somewhere along the line. That's what we can be expecting. But I think right now, if you're willing to sell it in 2 years or so, it's a good investment. After that, I would say that I mean, it's as good as, you're going to get RAM either way, so might as well just get some. RGB RAM or LED RAM actually holds a lot more value. And then, of course, a good CPU cooler, no matter how hot they make the processors, or a good liquid cooler. In particular, the reason why I like this liquid cooler so much is because it's got a 5-year warranty. So in 5 years, I can still say you've got a warranty. So that's one of those few things that it does keep a lot of value because it's pretty much like brand new if something happens to it. So it's not a big concern, and you can get all your parts refunded. So it's not, that's one of those few things that also keeps its value. Hard drives, I would not say are something you want to invest heavily in. SSDs, oh my goodness, don't even try, because the SSD, I think I paid 80 bucks for this 120 gig back a couple years ago, and now I got one for 20 bucks that I made a video on, and it's just even better. It's even faster. LED fans, those are a good investment, but there are some out there that you can get pretty dirt cheap, like 15 bucks for a 3-pack of LED fans. Really nice stuff. And then, of course, LED lights and the LED light strips are pretty much going to stay about the same price, 13 bucks. I think I did a video on those as well. So overall, if you want to invest in a good computer and you want to get a good case, you want to get a good power supply, you want to get a nice motherboard, you might want to even consider getting some nice RAM. You've got those four things will do really well, and they will keep your value as good as you're going to get. Now keep in mind it's technology, things are going to go down, but a case is a case, you really can't deny that. Power supply is a power supply, and a stick of RAM is a stick of RAM no matter what generation it is. The DDR3 is still pretty popular, so I mean that's still being used today. I haven't seen any DDR2, which I'd say by then you probably should upgrade your system. A good motherboard and mouse and keyboard, not motherboard, sorry, keyboard. A good keyboard and mouse are a really good thing. Get mechanical switches on that. That will keep its value. LED, that's a good option as well. I know it's not really related to the computer. Monitors, on the other hand, those are pretty much going up pretty crazily. You got like 4K monitors now that are just as expensive, as actually less expensive. I bought this 1080p one up here. So it's or TV, sorry. So I mean it's really just depending on what you're getting and looking into like how much it depreciates over time. These cases are all pretty much worth the same as I got them, so I actually got it for a really good deal. A lot of the other things though to keep in mind, like the Founders Edition stuff, it's a 1080 Ti Founders Edition, and that has some value in the sense that it is the Founders Edition shroud. So that's what I'm going to be keeping, is just that card for the showcase, and the fact that it is a Founders Edition just because it's like a classic edition. Obviously it's not going to have any better thermals or anything, but it was actually the cheapest thing at the time, so that's what I got. Nice $650, and that was back around last June. So, well, yeah, last June. So that was pretty much, and it kind of went up in price and down in price, so it's just more of a showcase card. I like how it looks. But thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or any thoughts or anything you'd like to add, please go down and put them in the comments. Also check out my channel for other cool tech-related things. We got some LED lights coming up. We got some earbuds coming out. We're going to be reviewing. We got a couple computer builds that we're going for. And we're probably even going to be doing a little bit more discussion videos like this too. So thank you very much for watching.